Hey everyone, welcome. You know, there's this one thing in math that just seems to trip everybody up, and that's adding fractions. It feels like it should be easy, but it's not. So today, let's finally crack that code. So let's just dive right in with the big question. Why? Why is it that multiplying fractions is so simple, but the second you try to add them, it feels like you've slammed into a brick wall? I mean, think about it. When you multiply fractions, it's just so easy. You go straight across the top, straight across the bottom, boom, you're done. It's clean, it's simple. But the moment you try to do that with addition, well, that's when things get weird.
So naturally you think, hey, why don't we just do the same thing for adding, right? Let's just add the top numbers and add the bottom numbers. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
All right, let's give it a shot with a super simple one. 1/2 plus 1/2. If we follow our easy way, step 1, add the tops. Okay, 1 plus 1, that's 2. Easy enough. Step 2, add the bottoms. 2 plus 2, that's 4. So far so good, right? Feels logical.
Okay, so our result is 2/4. But wait a minute, 2/4 simplifies down to 1/2. So what we're saying is that 1/2 plus another 1/2 equals 1/2. That just can't be right. I mean, just think about that in the real world. If you have half a pizza and I bring over another half a pizza, do we still just have half a pizza? No way, we have a whole pizza. So clearly, our easy method has gone and broken some kind of fundamental rule of math. So what happened? What rule did we break? Well, it's a big one, the order of operations. You might remember this from school. It's the law that says you have to do multiplication and division before you do any addition and subtraction. And here's the kicker. A fraction is really just a division problem in disguise. That line in the middle, it just means divided by. So 1/2 is just a fancy way of writing 1 divided by 2. When you try to add the tops and bottoms, you're trying to add before you've taken care of the division. And math, well, math just doesn't let you do that.
Okay, so does this mean adding fractions is impossible? No, of course not. It just means we need a different approach. We need a clever workaround that actually follows the rules. And luckily, there is one. It's a kind of golden rule for certain fractions.
Now, this special rule only works if the fractions meet one condition. Their bottom numbers, the denominators, have to be the same. If they are, it's shockingly simple. Step 1, you just add the top numbers, the numerators. But step 2, and this is the part we got wrong before, you keep the bottom number the same. You don't touch it.
So, let's go back to our pizza problem. 1/2 plus 1/2. Let's try it the right way this time. Okay, add the top numbers. 1 plus 1 is 2. Keep the bottom number the same. That's also a 2. So we get 2/2. And what is 2 divided by 2? It's 1! One whole pizza. See? Now that actually makes sense.
And these special fractions, the ones with the same bottom number, actually have a name. They're called like fractions, which, makes total sense because their denominators are alike. Getting this idea of like and unlike fractions is really the secret to all of this. And a teacher from the source material for this explainer had a pretty fun way to remember this. They said, sure, they're called like fractions because the bottoms are alike, but they prefer to think it's because they secretly like each other. Kind of cute, right? Just a silly little way to make it stick.
All right, let's do one more just to make sure we've got this down. How about 5/16 plus 2/16? Yeah, the numbers are a little bigger, but don't let that fool you. The rule is exactly the same.
First question, are the bottom numbers the same? Yep, they're both 16. So we can use our golden rule. Add the tops. 5 plus 2 is 7. Keep the bottom the same. It stays 16. And that's it. Our answer is 7/16. See? Not so bad.
Okay, so this works perfectly for adding. But you're probably wondering, what about subtraction? Does the same trick work there too? And the answer is yes, absolutely. It works the exact same way. For like fractions, you just subtract the top numbers and you already know it's coming. You keep the bottom number the same.
Let's just prove it with a quick example. What if we have 5/9 and we take away 2/9?
Okay, bottoms are both 9, so they're like fractions. We're good. Just subtract the tops. 5 minus 2 is 3. Keep the bottom 9. So our answer is 3/9. It really is that simple.
So there you have it. You've basically mastered adding and subtracting like fractions. Pretty cool. But
what happens when the fractions aren't alike.
So you've got this problem on the left, which you can now solve no problem. But then you look at the one on the right, 1/3 plus 2/5, and right away you see the issue. The bottom numbers are totally different.
And you guessed it, these have a name too. Unlike fractions. Because, well, their denominators are different. And our simple little rule, it's just not going to work for these. At least, not as they are now.
So what do we do? Well, the secret is actually kind of cool. You can't solve them as they are. So the only way to do it is to change them. You have to turn those unlike fractions into like fractions. Then you can use the easy rule we just learned.
This whole process has a name you've probably heard before. It's called finding a common denominator. And that right there is the final piece of the puzzle. It's the key to everything, which of course leaves us with the biggest question of all. How in the world do you find one? Well, that's a story for another time.